Today is Friday, March 1st, and today, I'm just wondering where the Mavericks stand as we head toward the last part of this regular season.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
Star Power Expo is the best time to update your home. Get spectacular prices on the best in home entertainment, luxury appliances, smart home products, leather seating, and more. Check out innovations like the 171-inch video wall from LG. The Star Power Expo 3-day savings event runs from Friday, March 8th through Sunday the 10th at both Star Power locations, North Dallas and South Lake. Check out all the deals by going to the website, starpowerexpo.com. Oh, hail. No, I'm not cursing. That's the name of a terrific Dallas roofing company in business more than a decade. They handle residential or commercial properties. And those weird insurance forms that seem to be written in a foreign language? Oh, hail can simplify those for you also. So the next time something happens to your roof, just say, oh, hail. OHHHAIL. OHAIL.com.
Hey, I was just wondering, do you know the history of Goodness Steak Seasoning? Well, back in 2010, I had a little bitty roast sitting in the fridge, and I thought, man, I've got to do something with this. So I took that roast, put a whole bunch of different spices on it, wrapped it up, put it on that grill. About 3 hours later, opened it up, and man, heaven in a foil package. That was the beginning stages of what Goodness Steak Seasoning is today. So if you'd like to have a little variety in your life, Goodness Steak Seasoning is where it's at. Limited availability in stores. BringTheTasty.com.
There's exactly 1/3 of the season left in the NBA. And the Mavericks' final game of this current road trip will be tonight, where they'll be significant underdogs to the best team in the NBA, Boston. Where do they go from here? Well, they're currently 7th in the West. Now, you'd like to get up to 3 or 4, giving you home court advantage in the first round. But the top 4 teams in the West seem to have somewhat separated themselves from the Western Conference other teams. Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Denver, and the Clippers. And then there's a gap down to the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams. Now, you want to make sure you're at least 5th or 6th. The Mavericks, as we said, we're 7th right now, but only a half game separates them from 5th. And only 3 1/2 games separates 5th from 10th in the West. You don't want to be 7, 8, 9, or 10, because then you must play in the tournament round to get into the 8-team playoffs in the West and in the East, by the way. Let's take an honest look at these Mavericks. They have 2 stars. Well, wait a minute. 1 superstar, Luka Doncic, and 1 star, Kyrie Irving. And they carry the scoring and the minutes burden every night. In fact, Doncic right now, at almost 37.5 minutes played per game, is 2nd in the entire league in minutes played per game. And Irving checks in at just a little over 34 minutes a game. Doncic and Irving are putting up numbers. I'm rounding off these numbers, but Doncic averages 34 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists per game, nearly an average triple-double. Irving checks in at 26 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. There's no question of the quality of these two players, but the difference in whether the Mavericks win or lose may well rest with the rest of the roster. For example, on Sunday night, the Mavericks are in Indiana. Doncic and Irving poured in 69 points, but all the rest of the Mavericks scored only 42 in a big loss to the Pacers. Then, Tuesday, in Cleveland, Irving and Doncic were even better. They scored 75 points, but the other Mavericks could score only 44 in a last-second loss to the Cavaliers. Now, there was better news Thursday night, as the Mavericks pair, Doncic and Irving, scored 59, but the rest of the team got 77. Sorry, it was a Wednesday night game. And they pulled away from struggling and undermanned Toronto. The best news in that game against Toronto was that P.J. Washington scored 23 points and Tim Hardaway scored 18. Those two players had been locked in significant slumps over the last few games. Now, okay, the Mavericks can score. Again, they total about 119 points per game. That checks in 6th most in the 30-team NBA. But the defense. If you take the top 10 contenders in the East and the top 10 contenders in the West, only 4 of those 20 teams allow more points defensively than the Mavericks. And at playoff time, it's a lot more about defense than it is in the regular season. So, Dallas' fate appears to rest on 2 factors. Number 1, we know Doncic and Irving are going to play star, but the supporting cast has to be solid every night. Hardaway, Washington, Green, Lively, Gafford. And second, somehow, this team has got to improve defensively. As presently constituted, the Mavericks have a 2-man offense and a very shaky defense. And when you combine those two, realistically, you can't see the Mavs going far in the playoffs.
Today's episode has been brought to you by Fluent Financial, by Oh Hell Roofing, and by Goodness Steak Seasoning.
Just Wondering is a production of DSP Media for FanStream Sports. You can find Norm's show along with other great programming at fanstreamsports.com.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering. If you enjoyed it, please hit follow. Then each episode every weekday will be delivered straight to you. And if we might ask one more favor, please share it with friends. I'm Norm Hitzges, and every day I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.